to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora's very special Dolphin Dive. As you know, every single month inside of our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with LeMoyne College, we have the opportunity to tell the stories of student athletes, coaches, administration, future Dolphins, and alumni. In this edition of Dolphin Dive, we're here with Isaiah Salter of the men's basketball team, and very happy to ring in the new year of 2023 with Isaiah. Isaiah, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Appreciate you for having me.
Absolutely. And Isaiah, you know, you've been a part, you've had an interesting road, I should say, to LeMoyne. And I'd love for the people that don't know, for you to share your history and your story, because you know what it's like to transfer and kind of go through the process of choosing a school and then finding another fit after that may not be the right fit for you. So bring me into your journey and how you ended up at LeMoyne.
From college?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So my freshman year, came out of high school and I went to a prep school, post-grad. It was a military school. Did really well there, and then decided to go to American International, as you know, is in our conference also. Played my freshman season. I started there, had a really good season, all rookie team. But just the environment in the school and just the culture really wasn't for me. I really wanted to win, and we just weren't doing that there, and it just didn't fit me. You know, I got nothing but respect and love for that school, but it just didn't fit me. So I decided to enter the transfer portal, and you know, I was talking to a good amount of schools, like 3 or 4 in the NE10 and some across the country and stuff. And I was just going through the process, and actually my teammate Adonis Williams, who is at Pace now, he was at American International with me, and he had committed to Adelphi, and he was committed to them for a while I was still in the portal. And Coach Duke, the head coach at Adelphi, asked Adonis about me and was like, you know, what's he's doing? He's still in the portal and stuff like that. So Adonis told me about that, set me up with Coach Duke. We had a conversation, and then they started recruiting me. And after I weighed all my options, I decided to go to Adelphi because I really wanted to stay in the conference. I really enjoyed it here, and I knew Adelphi was a good academic school, and you know they had a pretty good winning culture. So I wanted to go try my luck over there. Had to redshirt the first season, so that was my sophomore season. I had to redshirt. So I sat out that whole year, which was tough, but it was a great learning experience for me, and I grew a lot as a player on and off the court. And then next season, unfortunately, COVID happened, and that was my junior season, and that canceled our whole season. So that one hurt a lot more because I was so prepared to come back. I put a lot of work in the off season to come back that season, and it just didn't work out. You know, obviously nobody had control over that, but it was just unfortunate events, and we got our whole season canceled. So I had to go into the next summer, you know, just preparing again. And a lot happened that COVID year. I think it was tough on everybody.
Yeah.
But especially like, you know, us as a team, I'm speaking from experience, and what I saw is just it affected a lot of people mentally, and definitely affected me a lot mentally. And it was just a big toll, you know, because, you know, nobody's ever experienced anything like that before, and it hit pretty big. So there was a lot that was going on that year, and it was really difficult. And it definitely opened my eyes to another side of basketball that's not just on the court, but the mental side of it. And that really took a toll on me, and that's something I really honed in on. But, you know, left that summer, left into the summer, spent some time with my family, put in some work, and came back from it was my senior season in the class, but only my sophomore year on the court. And I played last year for Adelphi. We had a pretty good season. I think we went 17-7. We were like 4th in the conference. Didn't end the way we wanted to. We lost in the first round to Assumption, and that was tough. And then some stuff happened at school. Everything was going on. I graduated, and we just decided to part ways. And you know, they had to do what's best. I had to do what's best. And you know, I entered the transfer portal for my grad year. That was a big reason too, because obviously, you know, it's not just about basketball, it's about academics too. So enter for my grad year, and I was talking to a good amount of schools, and then Coach Champ called and expressed interest, and we had really good conversations, and he connected with me really well. And ultimately I chose to come here, and it's probably been the best decision I've ever made, to be honest.
Isaiah Salter here with us with the spotlight on his story in this edition of Dolphin Dive inside a Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora in the Cafe Kubal studios. Isaiah, for you to go through everything that you had gone through to transfer after your freshman season, have to sit out before that transfer portal allowed the immediate residency where you could play right away. So you having to sit out for that, and then having the COVID year. How how did you deal with 2 years away from playing the game of basketball up against somebody else? You can obviously practice, you can train, you can work out and do different things, but when you had to redshirt and then you find out the transfer portal now doesn't make you have to sit out that year, you had to go through the adversity of making a decision right before a rule change and then having the COVID year. So you got hit not once, but twice by two things that were out of your control. How did you
Mhm.
handle that?
It was definitely tough, but I think a big thing was just having a very strong supporting cast, having my family and my friends around me, but also, my faith, and using those experiences and trying to find the lessons in them instead of looking at them as burdens, looking at them as opportunities to grow and learn. So I just really kept an open mindset. I knew, it was going to be tough, and it was something that I never experienced before. And I knew being away from the game and not playing the game in over 2 years was going to be extremely hard. But like I said, I just looked at it as a challenge, and I like to look at challenges as opportunities to grow. So those 2 years were definitely very, very tough for me, but they were some of the most formidable times of my life, and it really helped me to grow into the player and person I am.
How would you describe yourself before those moments of adversity, before sitting out a year in the COVID year? Who were you then, and how have you evolved now? What about you has gotten better on the court and off the court?
Man, that's a great question. I think, if I'm being completely honest, I just think before all that really adversity came, I mean, I've dealt with adversity my whole life, but I think as you grow and you get more mature, you start to look at things a little different. Before the COVID year, it was really the COVID year. The redshirt year I was kind of prepared for because I knew I was sitting out. But COVID year I had no idea, so that hit a little harder. But before, I think I just looked at life in a little more like superficial way. Like I was kind of just going through the motions. Just kind of saw basketball as basketball and life is life, and
Yeah.
was just just going through the motions daily and stuff like that. And I think when that adversity came, it kind of made me look at myself a little bit, and reflect on who I wanted to be as a person and the things that I value in life and stuff like that. And that was very challenging to do because I found myself at first, when the adversity came, looking to blame other people and to point the finger and stuff like that. But I realized that just wasn't an efficient way to live, and that only brought more negativity into my life. And my mom and my stepdad really, really helped me with that, and just teaching me the right lessons and trying to give me as much wisdom as they could. But ultimately, it just came down to my perspective on these situations and experiences that I went through. And I think just having an open perspective and being open to learning and growing, no matter what the situation is, can really help you to elevate on and off the court. And I think finding that balance in between like life and basketball and kind of like putting the two together really helped me a lot too, because I look at the game a lot the way I look at life.
And how do you look when you say you look at the game and life similarly? How do you see them?
Um, so for instance, like I know for me in my life, excuse me, I'm sorry, Craig's right here. There you go. Yeah, so like for me, like I'd say the last like I think COVID started like a trend in my life where it made me start to value different things. And I think when you make that mindset change that you want to live a certain way and you value certain things and you kind of want to be a certain type of person, life is going to test you, and you're going to get put through experiences to grow and learn and things like that. And I just started to realize how much adversity and hardship is really valuable to the journey of becoming the best version of you. And I started looking at it that way. So, like when I'm on the court and, my team and us, we're going through adversity, we're down 15 and things our back is against the wall and things like that. I kind of just keep those thoughts in my mind that, this is happening for us, not to us. And there's something that we can learn from this. You know what I mean? And those are the times where you really have to hone in and come together as a team, not break away. And I think your character is shown in times of hardship, not times of comfortability and ease. So, those little lessons that I'm learning from life, I try to take it onto the court, and it helps me just to come prepared every day with a positive mindset, with an immense amount of gratitude for the game and the coaches and my teammates, and just the dedication and the hard work to just bring my best foot forward every single day, because we're not promised tomorrow. And like I said, I just wake up every day just grateful to be here. So those really just be on my mind when I play the game.
And for you being a grad student, but having to sit out a season and then having the COVID year, what does eligibility look like for you? Because the NCAA provided an extra year for those that went through COVID. And then you have the interesting circumstance of everything you've been through. So you are a grad student, but how much time do you have?
Yeah, I actually have this year and next year. So I'll be able to get my full master's degree, which is really nice. And be able to play next season, which is dope. But it is crazy to think about how like that will be my 6th year of college. I had been in college now for 6 years, and it's just crazy because I would have never guessed that coming out of high school that I would have had to be in college for 6 years. But that's just the way the journey went for me.
Yeah, you might as well become a lawyer or a doctor at this point.
Right. Exactly.
So Isaiah Salter here in this edition of Dolphin Dive. You said you went through adversity even before all of this happened with the sport of basketball. What in your life can you look back to and say this moment or two really helped define who I wanted to be? When you went through that adversity prior to everything that happened basketball wise, what are some of those moments that you feel like were a crossroads that ultimately led you to where you are today?
Um, well, I think everybody goes through, different things in life. I know for me growing up, it wasn't easy. Everybody has their trauma and their abuse, whatever. But I think it really, those things I kind of dealt with really well. Like I said, having a good supporting cast, my family being there for me. But I think when I graduated high school, instead of going straight to college, I did post grad. So it's like reclassing for high school. But I did it at a military school. And that year was that was the first year where I was like, whoa, like I really got hit with like this is really tough. Like I don't know if like this isn't for me. Like it was just an eye-opening experience because you had the military side of it. So we were waking up at 5 a.m. every single day. We were, marching to breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We had to do parades and different things, wear uniform every day, all that while still doing the basketball side. And we were a top 5 team in the country in the prep circuit, with like the Oak Hills and the IMG. We were like number 2. So the program we had was very, very elite, and the way that they went about it was very elite too. So, we practiced very hard. We worked at the things we needed to work at. It was just very taxing. But doing all that with the military stuff, the basketball, the school, it was just so much to take in. And then I've never been in an environment like that where basketball was taken that seriously, and where I've been challenged so much by the coaching staff. I think, the coaches really tried to bring the best out of me, but at first it didn't seem like that. It kind of seemed like they were just coming at me just because I was a smaller guard, and like they just wanted to get under my skin and stuff. But that whole year was just very challenging, and it just made me appreciate life and really realize how much work and dedication you have to put into this craft, into life in general, to really, make something of yourself, and how important it is to really keep a positive mindset, even when times are very, very tough in your life.
And
So I
for
definitely
you,
think that was, yeah.
that positive mindset that you've had, they say that any sport you play, it comes down to your mental, right? But
Mm,
I would expand that and say that in life in general, it comes down to your mental. You can prepare as best you can for a test, you can prepare for a game, you can prepare for a job interview or whatever it may be. But ultimately, if your mind is working against you, then you're not going to succeed at it. Your
no.
mind can either be your wall or it can be your bridge.
Mm.
How do you work daily to make sure your mind is a bridge and not a wall?
Yeah, absolutely. That's huge. I mean, like I said, I think mental health is huge right now in our society. And I think more people need to take it more seriously as far as in their life. I know for me, like I said, when I was at Adelphi that COVID year, I really went through a lot mentally. And like I said, leading up to that, I kind of neglected that part of my life. Like I never really focused on it. I was just oblivious to it. I was just unconscious about mental health and what it meant to have a strong mind. But it wasn't until I got tested mentally and realized how weak mentally I was, where I had to kind of do some digging internally and figure out, you know, the type of person that I wanted to be and the things that I needed to work on. And you know, it's just been a constant journey all the way up until the point I am now. But you know, it for me, when I look at my mental health, I just try to, you know, I try to feed feed my mind with things that are helping me in life and pushing me to be the best version of myself. And that really started by like making a list of the values and the things that and the type of person that I want to become in this lifetime. Like I look at life as a journey, not like a destination. And I really believe that the journey, the process of, you know, waking up every day, you know, whether that's going to work, going to play basketball, doing the little things, like I believe the process is really the reward, and that's the true treasure. And I just looked at that and I was like, what type of person do I want to become within this process? And once I made that change, then I started implementing certain things that helped me with my mental health. I know for me, meditating and reading and journaling, those things are like at the top of my list for mental health. I think it replaced a lot of negative things that I was doing previously, and replaced those things with healthy habits and just implementing different things and also connecting with the right people. I think that's huge too. Like, because you know, it is important to, you know, have your own back, but it also is important to have the right relationships and right people in your life, because environmental health is a real thing too. And I realized that, you know, I was around certain people who really drew my mental health down the wrong way. And I don't blame them for it. It's just the way it is when you're around certain people. And now I value really my time and my energy and who I'm around, because I can tell that when I'm around certain people, I just feel better and I think better and I think more clearly. So I just think it's a combination of a lot of things. But yeah, mental health is just something that I've studied, researched, and done a lot of work to try to make sure I'm good internally and mentally.
I love what you just said, and I don't even know if you know that you said it, but what I took from it is you can't spell environmental health without mental health.
Mm,
So, you know,
mm.
your environment really can affect your mental. And I believe that wholeheartedly. We're going to get into a thing called rapid fire in just a second, but not before. You've played on three, you've had the very unique history that you've been on three different teams in the NE10. So, what can you say about the experience of AIC to Adelphi to LeMoyne? And why has LeMoyne been so special for you that it seems like you're really enjoying being a Dolphin and part of this Fin family?
Absolutely. I mean, AIC was a great experience. I mean, it was my freshman year. I was new into college. I was just excited, you know, small kid from Charlotte, just really excited to get here. So that was just a learning experience. And then going to Adelphi, which is a whole new experience, because I felt like I matured in my game, not really as like a person. I felt like I kind of was the same person, but I matured in my game a lot, and I was really excited to take that next step. And obviously, with the events that happened, it was tough. And I met really, really good people at both schools, but I met really, really good people at Adelphi that really, you know, I connected with and I grew with. And then making that transition from Adelphi to LeMoyne, I think the summer, I think this last summer, before I even committed to LeMoyne and I realized I wasn't going back to Adelphi, that was the most formidable summer of my life, because I feel like I made the biggest changes in my life and I matured the most, and I kind of opened my mind even more and opened my heart to the possibilities that, you know, life had for me. So coming here, I feel like the reason it's been so amazing is obviously because of the coaches, because of my teammates and the environment, but also because of the type of person that I am and the way that I see life now. I feel like I'm more mature than I've ever been in college. And, you know, I just feel like, you know, one of the quotes that really sticks with me is, you change your mind, you can change your life. And I've seen that in my life, like just changing my perspective on how I see things, how two people can be experiencing the same exact thing, but if they look at it from two different ways, it's a totally different experience to both of them. And just coming here, I just see that with my mindset and the way that I go about life, like it's it's just amazing what life can bring to you when you have an open mindset and you're open and willing to learn and grow every single day, and you're not rigid and stagnant in where you are, and you don't really get comfortable. It's like I kind of got comfortable being uncomfortable, if that makes sense. So like coming here, it was just, I knew it was going to be hard because it's change. I was out of school for 3 years. I got to meet new people, new coaches, whole new system, new teammates, everything. And I knew it was going to be very difficult, but I think that's really what attracted me to the situation, was because of how uncomfortable it made me feel making the decision. I was like, maybe that's where I should go, because maybe that's where the best possibility is. So just a combination of all those things. But like we just talked about, I mean, environment, I mean, the way that the coaches care about us, the way that my teammates allow me to be myself, the way that the school values the certain things that they do, the way that I've been able to connect with people and have relationships with people from all walks of life and all areas of this school. I mean, it's the whole experience as a whole. I couldn't be more grateful for it. And I think that's really a big reason why I want to, come to work every day and bring my best foot forward, because like I'm incredibly grateful for this opportunity that is placed in front of me.
Isaiah Salter, Dolphin Dive, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Awesome messages from you today. We're going to jump into rapid fire. We could talk about literally anything. You could throw whatever you want at me, and I'm going to throw it back. We're going to get 3 apiece. You get to start, and we'll go back and forth. Give me your first rapid fire.
Like it could be a question or a statement.
Question to me about anything in the world, and I have to answer it.
Okay. If you could go back to your 20s, what would you tell yourself?
Oh, stop dating them crazy girls.
So, that's great.
I would say that. I would say definitely take the time to get to know people and be very conscientious about who is in your circle and who you let in the most intimate parts of your life, is what I would say.
Wow.
So, all right, my first one for you. Celebrity crush.
Oh, that's good. Scarlett Johansson for sure.
Okay. All right. Scarlett Johansson. Appreciate it. Second one for me. What do you
got? Favorite decade.
Oh, that's tough. I would like to think my best decade is in front of me.
I love that.
So I would say that if you're going to make me choose, though, I'm an 80s baby, and music was so good back in the 80s. So I'd probably say I'd go back to the 80s, but
that's awesome.
Yeah, but I like all the time that I'm alive. As long as God wakes me up in the morning, it's my best.
There we go.
Yes, all right. Sir. My second one for you. All right, let's stay. I liked music back then, so let's keep with music. You have the opportunity to go on tour with any band or singer. Who do you go with and why?
Oh, that's an amazing question. Oh, that's crazy. It's gonna be 2 people. It's either Michael Jackson or Led Zeppelin.
Okay, why? Yeah. I got to know why for both.
Michael Jackson, just because to me he's the most influential artist to ever live, and like his just what he did in general is just amazing, and I would love to like be on tour to see the impact that he had on the world, because I feel like he had the whole world in his hands at one point. So, and I love his music. And then Led Zeppelin, because I just started getting into progressive rock this last summer. Okay. Like the Led Zeppelins, the Pink Floyds, the Steely Dans, the Rush, all them. And Led Zeppelin was just the first band that really hooked me. And the more and more I've been doing research and listening to them, the more and more I fall in love with their music, and the more and more like I'm watching their live concerts, and I'm like, yo, that must have been an experience to be there. Yeah. So I would love to go on tour with them and just to see how they rock out.
All right. I like that. Awesome answers. What's your last one for me?
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Best piece of advice I've ever received. I would say it's come in a lot of different ways, but I've brought it into one simple sentence, which is leave the outside noise outside, because that's where it belongs by definition.
Wow.
So I would say what other people think of you says nothing about you and everything about them. Because a lot of times when people are negative, it's because of jealousy, it's because of a lack of direction, and it's because of a lack of understanding. I can honestly say people that have kind of approached me like they didn't like the person that I am or wanted to change who I was, they're pretty much the people that don't know you. They don't
Wow.
eat with you, they don't sleep next to you, they don't go on trips with you, they don't spend time with you. Normally, hate comes from a place of ignorance. And I would just remind people that when you're hated, it's two things. Probably you're doing something right. And secondly, it probably comes from a place of not knowing information.
Wow, that's real, man. Dang. I'm gonna keep that close. That was nice.
So I want to throw it back to you in this respect, and we're going to keep with messages here. If you and I were running for president and VP, we'll make you the president. I'll be your VP. What is going to be our tagline on all of our billboards?
Hmm. Becoming the best version of yourself.
All right. Well, you know what? The world needs that, and so does politics. Becoming the best
Absolutely.
version of yourself. Isaiah Salter. Isaiah, this will not be the first time, or the last time, I should say, that you're going to be on here. I love having you here for the Dolphin Dive. I love getting to dive into the stories, and I'm not saying it because you're on screen. The Dolphins have given me so many incredible stories because they come from incredible people. And I am very moved by what you brought to the table today. I'm excited to chronicle that as we move forward. And I cannot thank you enough for bringing a whole lot of positivity, smiles, and a lot of education through the knowledge and wisdom that you've gained at a very young age. So I can say thank you. I don't think it's enough, but I look forward to seeing you soon and getting to tell more of your story.
Yes, sir. No, thank you so much for the opportunity, man. Have an amazing day.